Hi, I'm Mike Bellevue, and today I'm back at the West Shore Sportsmen's Association because Duelist Den is still closed because of the snow. And today I'm going to be shooting this antique Remington pocket pistol. This is Remington's New Model No. 4, and it's a pretty sweet little gun. This particular one is chambered in 41 Rimfire. And I managed to secure some 41 Rimfire cartridges, so we're going to put it through its paces. Well, Remington unveiled the New Model No. 4 revolver in 1877. And this was a small single-action revolver with a 2-inch barrel. It's highly concealable. It's got a 5-shot cylinder. And really, this was a gun that was almost the antithesis of Remington's double-barrel Derringer that came out at about the same time. They were roughly the same size. This gun was a tiny bit larger. And you got twice as much firepower in about the same size package. Now this gun, when it was produced, it was the final evolution of Remington's line of Smoot's patent new model revolvers that started with a New Model No. 1 in 1875, making these small, highly concealable revolvers. And, these guns were much more popular than the guns that we associate with the American West, like this full-size Remington 1875. And if you think about it, that is really not any different than it is today. I mean, for instance, I carry either a full-size 1911 or a commander-size 1911 or a Browning high power every day. I was carrying one while I was making this video. But for every person like me who carries a full-size fighting handgun, there are 3 or 4 people who carry the mini and micro 9mm pistols or carry J-frame revolvers every day. And that was about the same back in the days of the Old West. Right? I mean, not too surprisingly, the most popular video on my channel is not about black powder guns or about cartridge guns of the Old West or anything like that. The most popular video on my channel is my review of the Sig Sauer P290 mini 9mm pocket pistol. Month after month after month for the last 4 years, that has been the most popular video on the channel. And why? Because that's the kind of gun that most people carry. And in the 19th century, most people carried guns just like that as well. So this gun was pretty popular. They sold about 23,000 of these. And the production run started in 1877, and it went until 1883. So not real long, and quite a few guns sold during that period. Alright, like I said, I'm here at the West Shore Sportsmen's Association, which is a great club, by the way, and I should know because I was the president here for 2 years, and I've been on the board ever since I stepped down as president. But I'm not crazy about filming here, even though I do like shooting here, because you're probably going to hear quite a bit of shooting. There's always something going on, and today the guys from Israeli Weapons Industries, IWI, are here training some of their employees in their Tavor rifle system. So they're up on the rifle range shooting that, and I'll try to shoot in between the bangs, but you can't always pull that off. So I hope you'll bear with me on that. Evil Roy is back living at Duelist Den, up to his ankles in snow, I guess. So we're going to have to make do with Paper Pete. Now, I've backed off 7 yards because, let's be honest, these guns were certainly not a long-range proposition, right? So this would be across the card table type shooting. So that's what we're going to do right now. Oh, and this is the first time I've ever shot this gun, so I have no idea where it's going to hit. So I put an aiming point up there on Paper Pete, and we're just going to see where we go from there. Okay, I think I'm shooting right over the top of that. That is interesting. Like I said, there are 23,000 of these new model number 4s made by Remington, and by far the overwhelming majority of them were made in 38 rimfire. Only 300 of the 23,000 were made in 41 rimfire, but mine is a 41 rimfire gun, so let's get her loaded up again. Alright, most of these guns, of course, as I've told you, were for 38 rimfire, but about 300 of them were made for 41 rimfire. And these cartridges are Navy Arms Company cartridges. They had a special run of these done in Brazil many years ago. I managed to find a box of them, so we're going to shoot these and see how the gun does. Now, back in the 19th century, they also would have had 41 long rimfires, which this gun would also shoot, and which would be a more viable self-defense option. Alright, so how do you load this thing? Well, it's standard single action, no loading gate. So you put it on half cock, and load it up. Now I'm going to load 4 for safety. It's a 5-shot. Because there's no real safe way of carrying this with 5. So, and we've got the hammer down on an empty chamber, so let's go see what it does. Well, I thought this gun might be shooting high, but it is a revelation. I shot most of those right over the target, and I was aiming at that orange dot in the center. I'm going to aim at the bottom of the cardboard and see where we place them. Okay, by aiming at the bottom of the paper target, I managed to put 3 out of 4 of them into the edge of the kill zone. I mean, really, barely wounded them. I'm going to load up one more time and put it on paper again and see how we do. Well, let's try 4 more on paper. Then I'm going to move to steel and see if I can hit anything. Okay, we're doing it. I'll tell you what though, if I was going to be sure of hitting something with this, I'd want to be pushing the barrel right into somebody's belly. So used to shooting 5. Okay, here's our target. And it's nothing to write home about, that's for sure. When I was aiming here, I hit here, and obviously I was throwing most of them right over the top. When I was aiming here, right at the bottom, I shot these. So then I aimed here, and I shot these. No matter how you cut it, not so great. Well, I'm going to shoot some steel, but one of the rules here at West Shore is you have to be at least 11 yards back from the pistol steel. With rifle steel, it's 100 yards. And that is going to be a challenge with this guy, the way it's shooting. But let's give it a try. Alright, let's see if we can take out that steel at 11 yards. Hopefully the wind won't play havoc with the microphone. It's only in the 20s today. It's supposed to actually get up in the mid-30s. And the sun's coming out, so we might stand a chance. But the wind is really blowing. Makes it a little tough to shoot. Might even get to hear the Israeli guys going full auto again. Kind of missed that for you guys, but they could do it at any minute while I'm shooting, so maybe you'll hear that. Alright, I'm going to aim right at the bottom of that big piece of steel. Now, I would have painted those steel plates to make this easier to see, but at these temperatures the paint doesn't dry, it just freezes, and it does a terrible job. So we're just going to hope we can hear a clink. So let's see how it does. Well, no hits at all on it. That last shot, it was not a squib, it actually fired. That's the second one like that. To be honest with you, I'm just gratified that this Brazilian rimfire stuff is all gone off so far. But I've had a couple of strong ones and a couple of really weak ones. So I would say quality control on the amount of powder in there is a little bit lacking. Alright, I'm going to give that steel plate another try. We'll see how I do. Well, 3 out of 4. Could be worse. I had to aim 2 feet low and a foot to the left to ding that thing. I'll tell you, I would not have wanted to depend on this in a fight any farther away than contact distance, which makes it somewhat less effective than a knife. Well, the bottom line on this gun is, in the 19th century, anybody who bet their life on this gun probably going to lose it. But it sure is pretty, and it's fun to shoot.